Hey guys, it's your boy Kenny Boulder with another Pokemon video, and we're catching up with a lot of content, a lot of stories. So again, I apologize if this seems a bit late, but I didn't really have a chance to really talk about this before I went to Europe. So now we have an opportunity to talk about this now. So this story is about GameStop. GameStop announced that they were doing limits of one Pokemon for Destined Rivals last week, and for overall the reviews are pretty good. I mean, most folks want limits right now because people have been waiting in line for like 3 to 4 days for the prismatic evolutions, for Journey Together, and now we're just trying to figure out a way to make sure that it's fair and equitable for everyone. So, I apologize if this story seems a bit late, but I still want to cover it because I think it gives you a little bit more information and idea what's happening with the Pokemon hobby right now. So, again, I apologize that this is a late video, but GameStop puts hard limits on new product nationwide. Starting again, Pokemon Center GameStop. New Pokemon TCG products will now be limited to one per customer. Have fun. Limited one per customer as we prepare for the May 30th launch of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Destined Rivals. GameStop has decided to limit customers to one unit per SKU each to help ensure more fans receive the opportunity to access the latest expansion. Sleeve boosters packs remain 5 per customer. So you can see here, the scalpers are now going to have to do some disguises here because they can't get more than one per customer. And again, good. Wipes out the greedy fucks crying about I wouldn't be in line if I couldn't get 2. Wait until you find those people will be in fact be in line for every kid. Everyone is going to be hanging outside the door. Implement a rule where people can camp 3 days in advance. Lottery would be great too. Hand out tickets to all there by opening, then random drawing for purchase. Less camping by scalpers. Everyone gets an opportunity. We wouldn't be here because of scalpers who literally spent multiple days waiting for Pokemon cards. And the reality is that this is to basically reinforce that you cannot. I mean, you shouldn't be able to buy and flip Pokemon cards. And a lot of folks have been doing this now in the hobby, and it's ruined the hobby for a lot of collectors and pushed a lot of the casual fans, in my opinion, out of the hobby. Because unless you literally have no job and you're fully a full-time scalper, or you're a really dedicated collector who can get PTO or whatever, it is impossible to wait in line to find Pokemon cards. Unless you get there at 3 in the morning waiting for 5 hours, it is impossible. So I think this was a good rule. I think this is important because the craze has been crazy. People have been going ape shit and going nuts trying to get Pokemon cards for the past 5-6 months now. Again, I'm just going over some of the posts here now. GameStop implement purchase limits for Pokemon TCG products from Pokemon Investing. And the Pokemon Investor says, cool, but mine hardly gets product anyway, still this can't hurt. It's been 2 per SKU for a while now. For Destiny, it'll be 1 per SKU for a while. A terrible day for scalpers. Another one right here. You lining up for Destined Rivals. I've been gathering intel from my local GameStops to see what's ideal and which store is best to go, and get me wonder. Who else going to line up for Destined Rivals release? What time do you plan on getting in line? And what will you do for entertainment to pass the time? And people kind of respond with, mixed reviews. Gotta admit, this all seems a bit more of a chore at the minimum. Really enjoyed some random tips, but now it's a job to get your hands on new releases. No, I have a life and a job. Y'all have fun. I'll be at work. So literally, this is the reality, is that even though these limits are implemented, a lot of folks don't have the time, they don't have the ability to go away in line at GameStop to get Pokemon cards. And that's the kind of the tragedy of all this, is that it is not readily available. It keeps getting sold out, and I keep talking about these in my videos. Pokemon cards has become a privilege rather than a way for things for folks to be, equitable and able and access to get. Another one right here. Destined Rivals release. Well, after 2 hours in line at Target, I only managed to get a booster bundle at Blooming Waters. There was 40 people, but everything was civilized and not like the other videos I've seen. And don't worry, we're going to be covering these videos on Scalper of the Week. It's going to be a Scalper of the Week special for Tuesday. Obviously, I've seen some fucking disgusting stuff. I have a lot of archive footage, but again, we're going to be trying to go through my backlog of videos. So again, I apologize. Waiting an hour so far. I have another hour to go. Only about 7 people in line. So, gives you an idea. that people are able to buy Pokemon cards, and they're able to finally get there, if they're able to get there. So, reminder, don't cut in line at GameStop, especially 5 minutes before open. Just got done with Destined Rivals drop at GameStop today. Let me tell you about an interesting experience I had. While I was in line about 5 minutes before open, some entitled kid in his 20s pulled up in what is probably his parents' Tesla Model Y. You know who you are. And hops in with his friend, quotation marks, about 20 people ahead from the end of the line. Kid was immediately called out, so he responded with, "I'm not here to buy." Spoiler alert, he was lying. When he got to the counter, he of course attempted to buy a product. Everyone in the store called him out, pointing out that he also lied about not being in line for this drop. And surprisingly, the GameStop employee showed some integrity and booted him into the back of the line. Listen, I imagine it's probably sucks not being able to get product 90% of the time, but that doesn't give you an excuse to cut people in front that have been in the line way longer than he was. By the time I got to the counter, there was still plenty of ETBs available. So he just went back to the back and waited. He would have avoided having to go back again, wasting time and potentially causing him to not get any product. TDLR, don't show up 5 minutes before to open and get in line with someone that was waiting on your behalf. Go to the back and wait, like the rest of us, and keep it fair. My local GameStop started handing out tickets like the DMV starting at 8 a.m. No ticket, no product. Worked pretty smooth this morning. Lamau, imagine during the prismatic drops, some dude literally left 2 lines before opening, went back to Best Buy's like 500 feet away. They opened an hour earlier, walked back 15 minutes before store opening to the front, just kind of next in line, talk to the people in front. Door opens and he slides in the front group of the line. Best Buy bag in hand. They said they didn't even know him. LOL. Dude was standing there with an armful of previously released sets, and when he mentioned what prismatic he was planning to buy, people got mad. He started defending himself for 10 minutes as the cash register was down and the line was still. The group shamed by the whole line was so bad he ended up not buying any of the prismatic stuff. So, this gives you an idea. This situation, in my humble opinion, has been cooked. We are currently seeing basically the retailers take a stand against scalpers, take a stand against what I would describe as anti-fan, anti-collector behavior. The worst kind of people have honestly invaded the hobby. These people are toxic. They're really just mean, mean-spirited, not really positive people, and obviously they're in it to make money. So I think a lot of these examples, a lot of these dudes doing this are clowns, and we should obviously not let them get away with cutting in line or scalping Pokemon cards or going through the motions trying to flip Pokemon cards while people are waiting in line. Another one here. GameStop changes to 1 per customer at work because no one here at 8 a.m. For comparison, last month the prismatic pouch release capped at 5 a.m. at the GameStop I'm at. Watch people bring 15 family members to drops now. I mean, that happens a lot. I've been to stores at Target and Walmart where where parents would bring literally actual babies to buy for more product. That is crazy. Imagine bringing a 9-month-old and be like, yeah, this 9-month-old is buying Pokemon cards here today. Thank you. We'll see that when Destined Rivals dropped, bruv, and etc. And long story short, the 1 per customer, I think, has been working. Obviously, we have some posts that we're going to go over and see it has been truly working, but for the most part, I think this limits scalpers. I think this makes people not be incentivized to go in line a day before. And I think this also incentivizes scalpers to hopefully get away from the hobby. Here we go. So first one, Team Rocket has invaded GameStop. Stop by your local GameStop to grab the new Destined Rivals together. And here's Mike here with his Team Rocket fit. Love you, Mike. And he's holding a Destined Rivals ETB with Giovanni Mewtwo. And of course, the police is arresting him. The cops were there. I'm sure the cops were there to ensure that there's no riots, no people going crazy. So this is a wholesome picture. Good for you, Mike. Really, big shouts to Mike here for playing the character, dressing with Team Rocket. Obviously, love the shirt, love the pants, and love the shoes, and love the hat. So thank you so much, Mike. And, I'm sure this cop here is having the time of his life hanging out at a GameStop in the middle of a Friday. Another one right here. Surprisingly, the lines for GameStop Destined Rivals Pokemon card release is not that bad. Not many people camped out either. So here's this video here. And we're just going to mute this. There's a line here of people. So everyone's in line, waiting at GameStop. And not that many people. I would say there's probably about 15 people there. And of course, they showed this here. Pokemon TCG Destined Rivals drop. This store will have 508 booster sleeves. 74 trainer boxes, 12 booster boxes bundles, and 18 blisters. And it's a limit of 1 per customer for all the bottom 3, and then 5 for booster sleeves per Destined Rivals sleeves. So that's a good thing. That means 74 people will walk out with at least 1 ETB. And that's what we want to see. Another one right here. Another drop. We're dropping Destined Rivals. 384 sleeves. 58 Elite Trainer boxes. 11 booster bundles. 15 Tri-Blister bundles. And again, that means at least 58 people will walk away with 1 ETB. And obviously hundreds of sleeves. So yeah, a guy can come in, a scalper can buy about $200 worth of product, whatever, fine. At least that scalper is not buying 4 ETBs. They only got 1 ETB and 5 boosters, 1 booster bundle, and a 3-pack. That's it. That's all they get. And maybe they got online 2 a.m., 3 a.m., whatever, fine. I actually like these limits. I enjoy reading this and doing the math. If I was the 10th person in line, the 40th person in line, the 50th person in line, I would still get something. Because that's what the craze is right now. There's so many people trying to get product that this is a good thing that we're seeing right now. Another one right here from Johansson James. Destined Rival Day, thanks for the limits GameStop. But hearing people talk about how they didn't get in line is this, or they don't know why they are in line is disheartening. So this is the other problem about the scalpers. So, yeah, there's about maybe 20, 25 people here. The fact that this guy is like, yeah, some people here don't know what the fuck they want, is kind of shows you the time of the craze. Scalpers, Pokemon scalpers, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. All they see right now and all they hear on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, on the social media platforms is you can make money off of Pokemon cards. So they're going to get in line. Maybe they're going to join the line because their scalper friends are like, yeah, I need you to wait with me for 4 hours to buy some Pokemon cards because it's now 1 per customer. That is okay. End of the day, I think that's embarrassing for the scalpers if they bring family members, friends, girlfriends, boyfriends, their children. That's just awkward, Like, end of the day, that's just awkward. And I think that's kind of funny that you would bring your partner or you would bring like a bunch of strangers and be like, yeah, we're here for Pokemon cards. Buy the 151, buy Destined Rivals. It's just like embarrassing to see and obviously not like I see that happening. Scalpers, they want to make money. They'll do anything what they can. They'll get grandma out of the fucking wheelchair. They will literally put a body there. I get that. So again, this system is not bulletproof. This is not one size fits all. There's no way you can address that. I think that scalpers will find a way. They'll rope in their parents, grandparents, kids, uncles, neighbors, dudes on the street. They'll figure a way to get more buys, to get more product, but they're not going to be able to buy like 4 or 5 ETBs though. They're going to buy maybe like 2 or 3. So there's that. From environmentally friendly, Destined Rivals GameStop at 3:30 a.m. So this is 3:30 a.m. and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, at least 9, 10 people. There's a TV. They're playing games. This is fine. I think this is better at 3:30 a.m. than 2 days on a Wednesday before the drop. So, most guys here, I think they're real fans. They're just here for the good vibes, playing Pokemon cards, playing Pokemon games. It's a wholesome time in my humble opinion. So, this video, again, I appreciate you guys watching my content, and I apologize that I have so much backlog. Again, like I said, I came back from Europe about a couple days ago, and I wanted to cover this story because I think it's important to recognize that GameStop is doing something about this entire craze. They're limiting product to 1 per customer. So for that, I want to give GameStop a huge shout out. GameStop, thank you so much for doing this. This means a lot for a lot of collectors, for fans, for just the casual person who just wants to enjoy Pokemon. Because at the end of the day, we've seen the fucking delusional insanity from scalpers. Scalpers, bots, sneakerheads, sneaker bros, investor bros. These guys have come into the hobby to make money. And the fact that we have to pray that retailers do 1 limits like this is kind of it shows you how bad things have become. So obviously, I appreciate you guys watching my video. Thank you for checking out my channel. I have a lot of backlog, and I have a lot of content to cover. I mean, this Scalper of the Week episode is going to be pretty intense, but obviously, if you guys want to keep sending me material or content, check out my page, DM me, check out my email. Feel free to check out my other content as well. So, thank you so much for watching, guys. So, again, it's your boy Kenny Boulder. If you like this content, like, subscribe, and comment, and have a great day, y'all. I'll see you around. Take care.